Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are working with another pair of patterns that are being mashed up together. It is pattern 409 and pattern 1111, both from friendshipbracelets.net. And once again, I am transferring all of the purple color to this time the left-hand side, and the red and the black over to the right-hand side. And you might notice something kind of early on in this. I start to do the black and red side, and I'm immediately like, wait, no, this is supposed to be like little heart shapes. Something's wrong. And it turns out when I was making the pattern, I made the pattern wrong. There is supposed to be one little black one up at the top part of where the red was, that basically I left it being a red. And as a result, instead of looking more like hearts, which it's kind of a stretch that they would look like hearts, but it kind of made it more like the arrows that you see like on the road that like let you know like where you can't be, kind of thing. I don't know, something to that effect. I don't know what else to really just compare it to, but yeah, there was a moment real early on for me where I'm like, that doesn't seem right. But like I said, I went with it. I felt like, you know, I made the pattern, let's stick to it. And yeah, this was again something that I would say overall was relatively easy. The only part that really may have concerned me was getting towards the end, making sure that I didn't overextend where it goes, because again, once this pattern kind of gets on a roll, it's pretty easy. You don't have to like keep watching the pattern itself. But that said, I had already counted out like how many of the shapes on the right hand side there are, and basically I based how long the whole thing is overall on that, because it'd be a lot harder to count out the rows from the purple side, right? Because it's just every other one kind of thing. It'd be a lot of counting. And yeah, I'm notoriously bad at that. Like see, here's where I figured out like, no, because intuitively I knew it was supposed to be heart shaped. I knew that was supposed to be a black one. Yeah. So anyways, counting, right? I can count a row, be like, okay, 53. Add another row to it and be like, wait, where was I? And have to count the whole thing over. So yeah, I went with the side that's easier, which is the red and black side, because they're in bigger chunks, fewer things to count. So yeah, that was my method of kind of coping with this whole thing. And I was also real pleased with myself that this time around, I didn't have that same error where the purple side kind of glitched in the middle or anything. It just continued on perfectly. So that was really good. I was really happy about that. The red and black side though, the middle of it, not that difficult, but man, it was different. It kind of had me looking at it a little funny and getting myself a little bit concerned, but it all came together pretty cool. And I think as a result, I really like the way that this thing came out. It's really kind of interesting. You've got the red like arrows pointing in at the center, and this just this little dark area right in the middle. It's sort of hourglass shaped. And yeah, and the other side's all these little purple with little, you know, light purple polka dots in it. I couldn't ask for a more interesting bracelet. I think it's a lot of fun, and it was fun to make. I have to say, it overall, kind of stress-free, easy kind of thing going on. It kind of, when it's nice and easy like this, it allows me to be able to like watch a TV show, which yeah, been kind of binging a little bit of One Piece here. I know I've watched it before or tried to before, and like get distracted somewhere along the line, and so like I lose track of like where I am. So I'm trying it again from the beginning, and I'm having some fun with that. So, you know, combining good fun shows and a nice easy pattern, to me that's like bliss. Because, well, okay, I might as well tell you about this. Like, so for me, I have ADHD, so having background noise kind of helps me to concentrate, if that makes any sense. I know that goes against most people's way of thinking. Most people want, if they have to concentrate on one thing, they don't want distraction. For me, if there isn't at least a little bit of distraction, I can't concentrate. I lose focus. Yeah, it feels a little weird to try to explain it, because I know that that's not the norm, but it really is kind of how I function. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but if you're like me and you need a little bit of a whatever, it's nice to have a pattern like this. It's nice when it's kind of easy and it's doing the same things each time. See, the reds, they just kind of bounce off the edge, leaving the black at the edge. And then when it's the turn for the black one, it just crosses over. And so that way it changes which one was on the side to now it's the other one. And they just come in straight into the middle. And then it's back to the reds again. And yeah, if I hadn't made a center to this thing, it would be even easier still, honestly. And then in that case, you can pretty much decide whenever you want to end it, and that would be really super, super easy. So I kind of flip it for two reasons. One, it's a whole lot easier when it comes to the pattern making. I don't have to create the whole thing. I can just create half and then copy and paste it. And two, I kind of like the potential challenge that flipping it involves. Like there's, you know, having to count it out or trying to change it up a little bit. Like a lot of times it has made for a pattern to become, you know, maybe just a little bit difficult or changed it in some kind of fashion. Like in this case, it's no longer just pattern 1111. It's now this new thing where it goes in two different directions, right? And when I design the pattern tomorrow for the other version of this, I am going to make it the heart shape. I'm going to put the black ones in like I'm supposed to, which makes it a little slightly more difficult, I guess, but not like once I get doing it, it will kind of eventually become natural and I will have no trouble. And I will flip it. I like the idea that the hearts will be going in two separate directions. So I think that's going to make it kind of fun. Kind of looking forward to it. I don't remember what's the pattern that's going to go to the side of that though. So that's the part that's going to, you know, make it either easier or harder, whatever. So yeah. Oh, and you might have seen earlier, I unclipped it. Yeah, trying to count out how many of the little heart-shaped things there are to be able to figure out where I am in the whole thing. So yeah. Yeah, and I'm working a long ways from the clip. It's like you shouldn't have been too worried about it, but yeah, I was. Because obviously if you put in a whole extra segment, it will throw off the whole length of the whole bracelet. So yeah, I kind of worry about making those kind of little mistakes. So what else can I tell you? Oh, again, not exactly beginner friendly. Like this is kind of intermediate. You could try it as a beginner, but just know that there are all 4 knots, that the middle part might be a little confusing. The fact that one side is working all the way straight down, the other side's coming in as a chevron, could make it a little bit harder. But yeah, it's definitely something that I would think that somebody that has at least a bit more experience would appreciate this. So, and this thing took about, I want to say it was a little more than 80 minutes. I don't recall exactly how much, but it was still a reasonable amount of time to do it. So, just so you know, it's a time-consuming one as well. It's 16 strings, right? So it's a little bit thicker, a little bit, more going on. But yeah, this is the center area here I was talking about. So yeah, it's sort of like an hourglass shape that it's left with. And I kind of really like that a lot. Yeah. Oh, so now the red one comes out. When it gets to the very end, it turns back inwards, and that happens on both sides. It gets to the end and turns back inwards, leaving the one black string out to the edge. So yeah. Oh, middle of this, I almost forgot, guys. I need to thank my YouTube members for making this stuff possible. I'm getting low on some of the strings. I need some blues. I need some reds, for sure. I might even need green. I don't remember where that is, but I got a floss order coming up here soon, and it's from their support that I'll be able to actually get some string that's much needed. Yeah, when I first started this series, I thought I was going to do it in single knots because I was afraid of running out of some of it, because you need more than one skein when you cut it in thirds like I do to get, like all the purples and stuff, So I was a little bit worried there. But purple I have a lot of, because the last time I did an order, I was like, I am not running out of that again. So yeah, I have a lot of purple string right now. But yeah, still need to kind of make up here and there. I know that the reds and oranges are low, and we're kind of getting there with the blue, I think. Got a lot of browns and muddy colors. I don't know why. I hardly use them, but there seems to be a lot of them. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with some patterns or some ideas to kind of use that stuff up. I don't like letting the string go to waste, so I gotta come up with something, I guess. I don't know. If you guys have any kind of questions, thoughts on this, by all means, leave it in the comments. Yeah, I do my best to try to help whenever I can. I think I mentioned this before. I've got a guy that is making a bag who, I'm not sure if they got stuck, but they reached out to me, and yeah, it's a nice looking bag. It looks like they're really kind of doing really, really well. And yeah, I shot him some images that might help him to figure out how to do the base of the bag, because he's got like a 24 loop bag going on, and yeah, he seemed to need some help. There's a bit of a language barrier that's making it a little bit difficult. So yeah, doing my best to try to offer up support where I can. So yeah, and I'm very understanding if you do speak another language or having difficulty. We can try to use like translators and stuff, and I will do my best to try to figure out how to help. So yeah, I don't feel bad if English isn't your first language. I get it. I can't speak any other language, So I can just imagine if like I needed to get a hold of somebody and you know, they only know Chinese or something, like it would be me just struggling so hard because, you know, what would I know, right? So I get it. I'm not oblivious to such things. So yeah. Trying to think where I am on the bracelet. I think it's right there. Yeah, still a little ways to go. Oh yeah, I got distracted and made a mistake. Just a little one. Didn't make the knot curve inwards, and suddenly realized, like, nope, that's not right. So I already mentioned the fact that I'm going to be changing up the heart thing. Trying to remember if there was any other like clever stuff. Oh, I have to say that the purple side, I liked it better with the previous one because it was going to the right. This time going to the left, it's sort of, I don't know, I'm biased. I prefer right knots over left knots. It has a lot to do with being able to hold all the strings and then taking one out as you accomplish it. With going to the left, it's kind of different, and yeah, I think it made this one just a little bit slower to make, and that would be why is it's going to the left. But that said, it's still relatively easy, and yeah, I really shouldn't whinge about something like that. It's not that bad. Oh yeah, I think this is where I like, yep, I already figured out, like, that's the end of the left hand side. Had to find where the row was that goes across because of how different this is. So yeah, I'm already dropping strings on the left, and the right ones are they're still kind of going. It's still full on pattern. So yeah, it was kind of weird at first, you know, like, am I sure this is right? Am I sure that those strings are the way they are? And it was correct. It's just a little unimaginable, like how, like I couldn't get my head to wrap around like why one side it feels like it's ending so much before the other one. So yeah, you'll notice a lot of counting, a lot of making sure that I've got it right. Because yeah, I was definitely concerned. But yeah, that black string, that one's done for the whole thing, and then it kind of comes in, and yeah, it all worked out. Just a little different, little something going on there. So yeah, if you guys made it this long in the video, thank you. I really do appreciate it, more than you know. I do look at the watch hours, like how many people watch all the way through, and not everybody. That's okay. For you guys that do, though, I really do appreciate it. If you're still here, leave me a comment. Just say hi. Just a little something. Let me know that you made it this far. All right. And yeah, this is pretty much the end of the bracelet. So thank you once again. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.